Okay, guys, well, congratulations on another season.
Thank you.
So what can Degrassi fans expect from this new class?
The new class,
All
it
kinds of new
goes
stuff.
there.
Yeah,
It's we're pushing the limits, going back to the roots of Degrassi, hitting those hard topics like racism and feminism and mental health and
We're being more risque than ever.
Yeah.
But in a way that's authentic and real and holds true to the
Genuine.
Degrassi name.
Yeah, because Degrassi is always kind of known for like those hard-hitting topics. So what are kind of specifically the new edgier things that we'll see in this season?
Well, you'll see people experiment with their sexuality.
Experiment
and
with drugs.
With drugs.
Experiment with just about anything,
Everything.
really.
It's
A lot of
Degrassi, so, like,
experiments going on.
that's what high
Scientific
school is.
experiments even.
Yeah, exactly.
Chemistry. It's really hard-hitting stuff.
Yeah.
So for your character specifically, can you talk a little bit about how they've kind of grown and what we're going to see from them in the new season?
So for Zoe, she's gone on quite a journey when she came on the show in season 13. She was the diva, like queen bee, and then she got sexually assaulted, and that took a toll on her. And season 14, that was really prominent, just dealing with the aftermath of that experience for her. And season 15, you see Zoe really struggle to find herself, that typical teen issue, not knowing who you are, having an idea of who you want to be versus who you truly are at the core of it. So you see all of that come into play, and you see a softer side of her.
And for Zig, in season 12, season 13, you see he gets kicked out of his house. He's homeless for a while. He gets involved in some gang violence. And this season, he really is kind of getting his life together and only really dealing with those more, popular struggles of, having a girlfriend and trying to keep her happy and all that. But the gang violence, that definitely doesn't just go away. So I think you can maybe expect some of that this season.
So why do you think Degrassi has been able, like this is 15th season, why do you think it keeps coming back and back again and fans kind of never leave? Like you have your Degrassi as your life.
I think it comes down to the writers.
Yeah,
and
incredible.
just making it incredibly relevant all the time. Like, you think once you've done a pregnancy storyline that you could never do it again. You're like, okay, what's left? But they somehow keep making it fresh and new.
Yeah, that's probably the key word is fresh and new, because there's only so many storylines you can tell, but especially with our evolving society and technology and things like that, we're allotted some more storylines to be able to tell. Even things like Snapchat that didn't exist like a year ago or whenever it was
social
made.
media is a big part of this season as well.
Yeah. So you can expect some technologically based storylines.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Isn't that actually works perfectly because everything's kind of now digital and all that. So how is that in the storylines? I know you can't really too much, but how does that kind of change the way Degrassi is now in this season?
Well, just deals with, how it plays such a big part in teenagers' lives. They're so consumed by social media and popularity, and they feel the need to share everything and be part of, a squad or whatever. So you see squad goals. So you see that come into play, and specifically with body image too. You see a lot of all that stuff put in your face on Instagram, and we deal with that on the show with a few of the newer characters.
Yeah, there's nothing more important to teenagers nowadays than their phone. Really. And if you're not telling those stories, then this audience isn't going to be interested, right? And that's something that I think the writers and all of us found was so important with keeping this show, and especially this new season, so so
relevant.
new and relevant and fresh was to tell those stories.
What's the feedback like on social media from like your fans?
A lot of positive.
A
I
lot of
hardly ever experience any negative backlash on Twitter or Instagram or anything like that. So like the Degrassi fans are awesome.
They
They're
are
incredible.
awesome. However, because I came on playing the diva, I won't use the B word, but
What,
there was
Queen
a bit
Bee?
Queen Bee. That's definitely what I meant.
Okay. That's all I could think of.
But I got a lot of backlash because I was bullying a lot of the well-loved characters, and everyone, like, they couldn't separate me from Zoe, and I got a lot of hate. I'm like, no, it's a character, like, not me. But thankfully, with time, they got to know me, and yeah,
Hate her even more.
hate me even more.
That's so funny. Do you find that sometimes the fans truly, well, you obviously, but do you find that as well, that they actually think that you're the character?
Yeah, definitely. I'll get like recognized places and like they'll just call me Zig, which is funny and cool and like I don't mind at all. But yeah, it's just kind of something that if you only are watching that show, of course that's what you're gonna call them. Like,
Yeah.
And you guys are going to be on Netflix, so that's huge. Talk a little bit about that kind of, again, new technology.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
yeah,
future.
it's the future. Well, I mean, yeah, like young people nowadays, we're only really
Streaming things online.
Yeah, we don't have time to like sit down and watch something at a specific time a week. And when we do, it's like it's more rare. So the move to Netflix is huge because it gives audiences that option to watch at any time they want.
Right. But that being said, we wouldn't be on the air at all if it weren't for Family Channel and F2N.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
we pride
exactly.
ourselves on being Canadian, and we need that Canadian support. So we were thankful that they came on board and supported us as well.
So now you kind of have both. Best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds.
Exactly.
Well, I watched the first little bit, so looking forward to what's happening. But thank you guys so much.
Thank you.